warn them, while we're in the Pinckney Mansion area, try not to smoke. We've noticed a decrease in activity when we're smoking. So just while we're here, it's the only smoke. Okay. Remember about this location. Documents, so that way I can tell you what you don't know.
Can't remember her name, but I'm Elizabeth?
Eliza.
Close enough. Right. The house caught on fire.
Right.
She was married to a man that was almost twice her age.
Yep. Over double her age, actually.
Yeah. It's like 23 years difference, wasn't it?
Yep. It's 23 years exactly. 22 and 45 were the ages that they were when they got married. This is the lady that started the indigo crops for South Carolina.
Yes.
London's already getting like EMF because I did give her the K2 on top of that thing. Do you need help over there, Bubbles?
No.
Oh my God.
She's getting a lot of EMF.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
I'm not hearing it.
Wow.
They're still picking it up.
Is that really necessary?
Ain't nobody touching your car.
I know, right?
Runner. Designate.
5.7, 19.3, 15.7. Okay, so it's really all about Blake, whatever he's hearing at this point.
Yeah.
You got that? Yeah, you get that. So this location gets a little funny with the light on there because there's nothing for that light to bounce off of.
Yeah.
So,
Except Blake.
we've actually caught, when I say orbs, I'm not talking insect-sized orbs, I'm talking orbs the size of your head moving around, like intelligently. Like stop and go kind of shit. What did I say? 15.7. What was the other number I said? Do you remember? 21 something? No, it was 19.
19.7, I think.
19.3, 15.7.
Yeah, that was the 7.
5.3, so 19.5 is what I'm looking for. Is there anything weird? Any sounds?
No.
Okay.
It still sounds the same as when.
Sounds the same as when nothing's happening. All right. You guys know the drill. It's all about Blake right now. Is that bad?
No. It never fails.
I think I heard this house.
Yeah, but there's no anything going on there. There's no electrical currents running through there. Those lights are dead. Go back to the corner. Did you bring your Dutch cap? Not a smart ass, not at all.
They never are. They never are.
That's not good.
The youngest usually turns out to be.
Burn.
He got burned.
Got burned. His house is burned? Yeah, makes complete sense.
His house burned.
Mhm.
It was. It's on.
Didn't her baby die in the house fire?
Yeah. No. She did have an infant child die. It's just unknown causes to us at this point.
Oh, okay.
Man, I'm gonna watch it. I know the song, I can't think of the artist. Yeah,
She doesn't know the artist.
yeah. But it said,
Nope.
watch you burn.
She just used the words
Yep.
that she could find.
Yeah. Watch you burn. That's what I got.
So a couple of, what was it, 2 weeks ago, we had like 4 nights in a row, all zeros. The entire time we were here. I'm like, what the hell is happening right now?
And see, I was worried that we wouldn't have any activity, being that the new moon had passed.
Well, we're still on like low UV light coming off the moon, which is still good.
Yeah.
So until you start seeing like that 30 to 40%, you know, as on a waxing moon, that's the only time where I start to like, it's probably gonna dip down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're at like 5% tonight, so we're in good shape.
Oh, yeah.
My co-host actually has a theory about this mic that she's using. We're gonna test it right now because I haven't had a chance to.
Getting
He
close to the
says-
camera.
I'm gonna have you shine the light. Well, actually, I'm gonna have her wave that light. Wave this guy right in front of that flashlight and tell me if you get any sound. I mean, close. Get real close.
Not really.
Because his theory is,
I mean,
if you
going off a little bit, but
well, I'm saying for the sound, not so much this guy. We know what this guy does. That's a standard K2.
Hold please. You hold the camera still.
There we go.
Yeah, no.
Nothing. That's a good thing.
Ooh. On that one. Sounds like a squeaky wheel.
Really?
Yeah.
But
wanna do
nothing
it?
on
This
the direct.
On what?
on
the,
this one? Or on the direct?
Nothing.
Go right there.
So that's probably just picking up on the battery power because they run up a 2 different style of battery.
You listen.
Get your ear wax.
It's not in my ear, dummy.
Yeah, that's a rechargeable battery that it has. Now put it in front of this. Okay, that's running off of like nickel metal hydride. It's different style,
So it's getting like the lithium type
Right.
battery.
and not from the light itself.
Yeah.
So my co-host theory was that the light.
Is what was causing the spikes in the.
Correct. He wanted to make
EMF.
sure it wasn't, because if it is, then it's just picking up on every type of energy out here, and therefore it's useless.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good thing.
I did notice on this one of these particular lights, it's picking up and throwing a separate light.
There.
Yeah. That
Easy to spot.
the bright light
Oh,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
You
spotlight over
you
there.
can see as I move, it goes right across. See right here. See the little light.
Yep. Yeah, and if the light moves with the camera movement, that's usually like a first. All right,
And then it
that's-
goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, I've not picked up anything.
Mike, you got anything? Damn.
Yes. If my phone wasn't about to die, I'd have mine on.
Nothing crazy going on with the camera.
Spinning slow circles and I'm not getting anything. Okay.
Eliza, we're gonna wrap it up. Last chance. All of Charles's apparently. Said Charles Hall. Almighty.
Do you want me to record this while we're walking or no? Okay.
In between spaces, we'll stop it, just like we did with all the other cameras.
Just making sure.
I'm gonna do one more quick lap just to make sure there's no more numbers.
I think when I had that thing, I only had a spike over at the trash can.
We had like up to 19 when we first got here, so I got a little excited.
Mm-hmm. He always told her that after he passed, if she cremated him, he was gonna haunt her. Well, instead he haunts us at our house. You gotta.
Blake, do you have anything? You haven't heard anything from there to here?
This battery light just went red.
Shouldn't be. You got stuff going on in the brick.
It's better, like went red.
Jewelry store?
I got one. Jewelry store. You gotta remember. Yeah, that's weird. There's nothing in that wall. Because even that light over there is dead. Do you guys want to hear what she's hearing?
Yeah, I do. I do. For certain.
I can handle that camera.
It goes away when she points that way. It's lower.
That's what she was asking, because it is directional.
It is louder. Point that way, it's lower.
It's gonna be louder in one ear than the other too. At least with me.
Well, you should only be getting the one channel. Yep.
That's weird. That is weird.
Alright, what do you remember about this location?
This was Jeweler's Alley.
Yeah.
Yep. I got the word yellow on my word list already. The house we live in is something I discussed, and it's a giant yellow house. It's 59 Church Street, so the word yellow shows up here often, so I'm not surprised by that, but I would want something concurrent with home, house, 59 Church, anything dealing with that specific address. But this is the guy down here that I was telling you gets a little loud. So we're just going to chill out for a few and wait for him to go through the motions, and then they'll be out of here in like 5 minutes. And I believe that this is his grand finale, if I'm not mistaken. This is his ending. So I don't know why you would make this your ending, but it is what it is. But the next location, I got the word mommy as well, so we're trying to keep that in mind based off of where we're going next. Again, we are literally right next to the grave that we will be discussing for that mommy.
Somebody throw a beer can down. Behind the tree over here. The whistling doctor.
Get close to the wall. Get louder. Any difference?
Quieter.
Right. That's what think of it's a man-made object. I don't even normally even pay attention to this guy in there. At least the night. Like, no words coming through at all? Like from the spirit box, not the word list?
Gabriel.
Got nothing on Gabriel.
Politician.
Welcome back, sir. You're right. Yeah, go for it, man. These folks have like done this like a billion times, so they know the stories. So we're just investigating. shorter, it makes sense. We did talk about an engagement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's slight. But I wouldn't like put my. I would want engagement ring, fiance,
Right.
something more specific than just a blanket term of jewelry.
And that's on the phone.
Yeah. But nothing's coming through the regular spirit box.
Not yet.
No, I dove into that building. The only thing I know is that it was built in the 70s. And it's about to be torn down. Why? What do you got? What is it? I looked at that for purchase, but yeah, a little bit. Subtle. When is it lighted? Right there. It's right there at the corner. Like literally. That's weird. I see what you're pointing at. I can't say that those are legitimate up here.
Integrity?
I mean, the doctor was known
he's
for
a
his
doctor.
integrity.
Right.
That's why it was such a problem when they caught him dueling.
How many year anniversary is this trip for you guys?
11.
Nothing. You're not a ghost.
No, I don't have energy that you can actually use.
I do.
What's the plate in your head that we had put in when you were born?
Because they dropped you.
It could be, it's good. Well, we should be getting like a lot in this direction because we have obviously the electrical
light.
panels.
Yeah.
We
I've
got
been
the
trying
lights.
not to say this.
Yeah.
Because I know it
So see, like when you look right here, right before the camera died, it was like right here.
Okay.
Underneath the lights, it was like it went right across. Left to right.
Something definitely to check out.
Now, it was a little one, but I am far away too.
And insects will pop up on there quite easily, and I'll be able to tell based off the flight pattern if it was an insect or not.
I mean, it went straight.
Okay.
Right across. But I mean, it looked like this little light down here at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
but it was up here, where above their heads
So
would
what
be.
is that little light that it's picking up on the bottom? Oh, we got a group coming.
I'm assuming
Go ahead and lower that camera.
somebody's
28 years old.
22 in the past. But 28 should be
8.
28 years old.
Did you get 28 years old?
Yeah.
Oh.
we can move down.
Let's see if it might have been somebody's shoe because it's not picking it up now. It went away?
Yeah.
So with the thermal, several times we've had things like peeking out of like where that garbage can and food station is, and I've caught them on thermal, like blue figures, like hey, and then they go back in again. Haven't caught anything with that camera here yet, as far as any kind of full blown figures, but I'm gonna say 2 or 3 times I have something going on with the drone. Yeah, that's not a twist, it's a pull. Flashlight.
That makes a lot of sense. Let me see. All right, that widened it out. Small. That's what I want.
Sold, sound, leased, and cook.
But nothing heard? Nothing heard? You're really struggling with that. You know I'm going to find a shit ton of stuff in there, right?
Yes.
What about auction? Like auction?
Possibly only because this was where the livestock was held. So they may have auctioned off some of the livestock.
So I did hear auction.
It's a possibility. I can't prove it, but it's a good possibility.
Because this was where they did the cattle pass. This was the,
No, this was more like a pen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
It's one of the
off
two.
up
Yeah.
There. Cow Alley. Birthday, November 2nd, death date. The duel would have taken place on like the 26th, not the 28th. And even that's kind of sketchy of like when the actual duel took place. And I want to say even his opponent, Ralph, was only like a year or two older than him, so it would have been like 24. So 28 just doesn't match up. I don't know what that means. What am I doing? Going with the rock. Electrical lines of these going to place on this side. They're going to run underneath those rocks. Not to mention, this one's dead.
Oops, sorry.
And the other one is way up there. It's not going to run underneath those rocks.
Gold and silver. My
So,
Cattle?
at the auction, maybe. She makes a good point. He could have been using that for the auction. So it's all pretty vague. I don't think we have
that was pretty clear. Happy.
Didn't you say to look for
Pop, pop.
Got it. I would say that this is pretty much the here. We have one little anomaly for me to search for on the camera. You're still struggling with the spirit box. Leave us right at the sign because they don't want assholes like me with this camera to come up here and try to recreate this. So we probably need it on for a minute. Come on, give me certain.
It's not.
Alright, so her grave is literally like straight back behind this tree. So if you can zoom in and then use your flashlight.
I've already modeled it down.
Hold it. Okay. Good.
So like right there?
Up. There you go.
Right there.
Right back in there. Like she's pretty far back towards the wall where we were just standing. You guys know the difference between a
Oh, there
cemetery
went
and a
the light.
graveyard?
No.
One of them is when it's connected to the church, the other one is just
A graveyard.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what's the difference? Which one is which?
cemetery.
No.
Graveyard.
Why is this the graveyard?
Great question.
Because the house needs a yard.
Yes.
The graveyard is attached to the same plot of land as the church. That is a cemetery. So if you go across the street and you look at the sign, it actually says St. Philip's Western Cemetery. That's
I knew that.
true. So here, we've got all kinds of things. Tumor and smoke. That's,
What's happening?
it says tumor and smoke. Any weirdness? Nada. Because I've been getting EMF across the street. She's there towards the fence. Something like that.
It's like kind of louder. When I say
Is this a Catholic church? Anyway.
you made us fall.
That's a marker for me.
So I had a second ago standing over there, just kind of panning across to see the other headstones.
Yeah.
And I had like just a dark area that wasn't there when I went back by. Wasn't necessarily a full figure, so I don't know.
We get a lot of parallax with that camera too, so that means it's like the giant pixels when you zoom in into darkness. It's gonna look like it's gonna have a cloud of smoke moving across in a pixelated format.
Okay, that might have been what it was.
So when I upload it to YouTube, it gets a little different because it takes away a lot of that parallax because I have to downgrade to be able to put it up on YouTube. So that's a 5K camera.
Yeah.
And I have to downgrade it to 4K because YouTube, you know, the one video mastermind of the internet can't handle 5K with a bunch of dumbasses. Sorry, that's me getting upset because they can't handle it. But I have to dumb it down to 4K.
I'm probably not the best one to have a damn camera.
Actually, that's like a great shot. The fact that it's going to be so steady.
But it's not steady.
Trust me, you wouldn't believe half the footage I get. It's steady enough. Yeah.
I'm also using the bar. I mean, I'm using the bar as
Right. Right.
yeah.
Doesn't help that they put these extra structures. Like that tent's not there. It's just there for construction.
Not really getting
It
anything.
makes sense for it to be louder here than here. It's like just a tiny bit louder. Merry Christmas.
pulsing. That's a man-made crack. Blake, anything at all? Nada?
House of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
We're at a church.
Right. Not surprised.
God damned me.
That would make sense for her.
It would. That's wild.
So
And
now,
that was spread out to like 3 different channels.
so let me ask you: were you talking about like this kind of fuzziness, like where you can see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see, what I saw was not that. I've been seeing that.
Okay.
This was, I panned from right here over, and right in the middle, in between the two,
In the light.
it was like darker. And when I panned back across, it was gone.
Okay.
So I mean, like it was darker inside of the actual spotlight,
Got it.
not around it.
Yeah, that parallax is usually in the shadows outside of the light.
So
It's just weird that this light is like going on and off the way it is. Like normally if we're standing here and we're moving around like what we are, it just stays on. It's just weird that it's going like off
like that.
like that. It's super weird.
So let me do this. Let me zoom out. Now let's just pan the whole thing. See what we can see. If we can see anything. Not like that, we're not.
Remember, I still put that light filter on it because it's still super dark.
Yeah.
So you guys will get like a grayish
Between the light
film
here.
back
Let's
instead of that dark black.
Let's just get through the bars here. Camera. There we go. Yeah. See, then after that,
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, we didn't use that voice recorder down this valley.
other than that little black shadow I saw earlier, I've not gotten anything.
Blake, anything else? Do I know that for certain? Not necessarily. But when you have Boney show up and you think, maybe they're just trying to, save Bonnie, and that's not really the case. Across the street with the camera that you're using, this is where we caught those giant orbs. And when I say they're giant, they're giant. We've also caught a giant orb over by the powder magazine when I had a full spectrum camera, a little bit different than the one you're using, but that was probably about 4 years ago.
I was like, we've seen that because I think we had somebody using that the first time we did it.
Because I started
It's the one with the dots.
No, that's the SLS camera.
That's right.
That's the stickman camera. The full spectrum looks purple.
Yep.
That's the
That's the other one.
So I
Okay.
got rid of that one and upgraded to this guy that you're holding now. Because the full spectrum, I was going through about 3 or 4 of those a year, and they run about $200. So I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done with this. I keep breaking them. It's the port where they plug in the charge. They're not soldered very well, so I was going through them quite a bit. And to take it apart, it's like you almost don't want to do that because then it's like, I should pull one little tiny thing apart in that tiny little camera. Yeah, it becomes a mess. So we upgraded to this. It's been working out pretty well. Not to mention it's a different type of lighting, so it actually helps me learn a little bit more. So we are going to go across the street. We're going to do the exact. No, nothing. That's funny.
And then a little bit.
So that tree right there is both times where we caught all those orbs. And that's exactly where you're pointing.
Silent. Tiny bit.
More pirate history for you. What's that?
I was messing with her. Bennett Witch.
Oh, you got a Bennett?
Yeah, the vampire diver.
That sarcophagus right there is William Rhett. He's the guy who caught the gentleman pirate.
Right there.
Charleston. Yep. Got anything else?
The best for last.
I heard it.
Is this your last stop?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna go.
Okay.
We're gonna go to 2 more.
I got the best for last.
Yeah, I heard you. I don't know what that is referring
Okay.
to. But I know you guys haven't been here.
Mm-mm.
Me telling the damn Sally story, because that's less than 6 months that I've been coming over here. Again, this space is super weird. Like, one night we'll get a bunch of shit, and then other nights it's dead silent. It's really, really weird. I'm kind of like letting London wander. She obviously looks 12. She might be able to relate. You guys gotta bring the kids on this shit.
They got to get a little bit older before we decide to.
I've had them as young as 5 and 6. Come on, man.
Mine don't like to listen.
You don't need to. I'm in the spirit box.
Shit. No, I'm talking about just individual direction. My kids would be in a damn road.
And footage on that camera of this location is usually like top notch. It's like the coolest footage ever.
Sorry, now I'm not getting shot.
Just remember that screen is small. You send them over to YouTube. That bar will always give you a glare back too.
Yeah. I'm
That out.
trying to avoid it. I'll get a glare and then I kind of back up, switch movement.
Now on the back of this, on the other side, and you can take the path right down the middle, and it'll take you to the circular church graveyard. Like there's a gate to get into that graveyard.
Damn, this bitch kills a battery.
Another one?
I'm down to 2 bars.
Landon, you got anything?
I'm not getting anything either.
Blake, set a beat.
Video. I didn't see it. It's
Okay.
gonna count that light.
That's probably that. There's lights in the back. I was just telling her that it's circular church graveyard in the back. And they do have light in the back.
Yeah, but it's getting bright. Safe.
You can look back at it and see.
Yeah.
It was quiet and I was ready to jump.
Really? So it's just the same.
cheated.
Can't get to it.
Any reports of abuse?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Get the word abuse.
Yeah. On my phone.
I have what?
Abuse, and then I got hay, like straw hay.
I'm still near Cow Alley, so that makes sense here. I do get the word cat London. Jeffrey's not over here right now.
Oh, I've gotten several on the phone. Like Western, Tail,
You got
Timber.
Western?
Yeah,
Over
Western.
here?
10:05. It might have been
That's 15 minutes ago.
We might have been right across
right
the
over
street.
there. Yeah.
'Cause this is the western part of the cemetery.
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
This is where like, so we were probably across the street.
Yeah, because I've been recording right here for 6 minutes. So it could have been right after you were talking about the fact that this was the Western Cemetery.
Could have been. Okay.
Well, I heard when I pulled my phone out and I saw abusive. Michael Jackson's "Beat It" was coming through. Yeah.
Well, this
So-
dude was a slave.
He might have been abused.
All right.
I always forget the first half of the story. But
That's what I was asking. I was like, well, you know,
Like I said, I cheated.
sing along.
That happened. People do that all the time. I'm gonna drop my shit on it.
I'm not going to drop it. I got 2 hands on it. Now you
Is it
throw it at me, that's a problem. You throw it, I'm going to drop it. But me already holding it is a different
You
story.
dropping it? That means I gotta come here tomorrow morning and try to find it. That nobody picked it up.
It'll be right here in the bush.
Oh, this is still part of the wall. That's ivy.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
lost certain the covers in that camera because if I only have 2 people, they normally start off with the thermal, and then we don't use that until we get here. So the cover for that, like the little case for it, I drop it all the time. But my office is nearby. I can't tell you how many times I've had to come back over here and pick up the damn case because I drop it.
I'm not seeing anything. Now I gotta pee.
Well, there's nothing super specific. That is the driveway. The driveway has a set of gates on it, and at the top of those gates, it actually has the letter JP written in the iron gate, made out of the iron. It's pretty fancy shit. That is the home of Josephine Pinkney. She was the 4th great-granddaughter of Eliza Lucas Pinkney, the woman we spoke about earlier that we were trying to talk to. She was a writer. The things that she wrote about, obviously she lived there, but most of her work takes place in this general area. Like you can read her books and literally piece it together of where exactly she's at. But one of the books she wrote was called 3 O'Clock Dinner. It was basically about the social norms, basically like how the higher class kind of looked down on the lower class kind of thing during the 1940s and 50s.
I smell gas.
That's from the gas lamps.
Okay.
We also, okay, we got one behind us too. Yeah, there's one directly behind you. Okay.
Ah, that's why.
But the other book that she wrote that probably would stand out more so for me to even see if anything's going to pop up out of this is because she wrote a book called Great Mischief. And that book is basically the start of the Boo Hag. So the Boo Hag is kind of like South Carolina's monster. Like every state has their own little monster. But the story is basically about a pharmacist who is lending out pharmaceuticals to witches that are summoning the Boo Hag. So, wasn't one of her top books. However, the Boo Hag, if you go to most other ghost tours, they will take you down some weird alley and tell you what a Boo Hag truly is. It's basically like a screaming medium kind of thing. Almost like a But the interesting thing is that this woman actually held parties here for other writers. So H.P. Lovecraft has been here, like for a party. I'm trying to think who else has been here. Another major like name you guys would recognize. Lovecraft being one of them for sure. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. But yeah, elaborate parties will happen at that house. It's privately owned now, which is why we're standing at a distance. Have you heard anything coming out of your spirit box at all, or have you been listening to me? Are you? I got a whole lot of nothing. I know you're probably not getting anything out of that. But I just thought we'd come over here for a few minutes. Let me just rouse her up by talking about her and see if anything pops up. I'm actually in the middle of both of those books that I just mentioned to you, the 3 o'clock dinner and Great Mischief. 3 o'clock dinner was actually supposed to be a movie, but the movie deal fell through. I want to say that was like 1952. So it's supposed to be a pretty big ordeal. She just couldn't agree with the producers on how things were supposed to go.
What's the name of the book?
3 o'clock dinner and Great Mischief were the 2 books that I brought up. So I'm hoping with the light filter that we have that that's not going to be that dark.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah. At least I could see where the gas lamps are at and try to brighten it up. Yeah, you guys are my guinea pigs tonight for seeing other locations for my new tour that nobody's bought tickets for yet. It's only been live for like 3 weeks.
I thought about buying tickets for it, and I was like, it's not interactive, so I'm not doing that one.
It's a 90-minute historical tour for book nerds, but I figured if I can get any ghostly activity out of it, then we'll see what happens. It might be additions for this tour. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
But I know like where Logic comes this fall, everything else is considered residential. I'm still on the word slowly and the name Gavin. Yeah. Just like the other name we had on there. Registered.
My cousin has a son named Gavin.
By the way, the word cat was funny when we were over by the cemetery earlier, is because we always have a cat that comes visit us. Her name's Jackie, and she wasn't there tonight. So, just kind of ironic.
They might have been asking about the cat.
Might have been. It did say gorging before that. To my knowledge, Josephine never married, so she would have been somewhat of a spinster for the times, and always known to break the social norms, because she did come from the Pinckney family, which means high society, so she was always out in public smoking. She always wore like a pantsuit, and that was what men wore back then. Like, she was that person. She was kind of a screw the social norms. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do.
Going against the grain.
Yep. Henry, I got a few folks here that chatted with you before, but over at the park. So we're going to try this with a little bit of spreading out of the devices. We're using the blue box, so make sure you're giving us some images. So let's talk about why we're at this specific building. Why are we here? Henry, why would we be at this building? Why are we here?
California.
Neither would you. here, just let us know. Give us your name, give us your birthday, give us something more specific to you. And then be very specific. And Carly, and whenever you want her to hear. Of course, I'm always going to ask you for images. Like a whole lot more with you. Alright? Anything at all specific to you, verify that you're here. Really struggling in there.
Hometown?
Where is your hometown? Anyway, I got the word good on this little word box. Are you referring to your wife? So we might be able to see the first name, please. Maiden name Goodwin. Henry. Anything at all. Henry Timmer. White, I asked you why we're here. Now January, we don't have to talk about what goes on in September. Henry, what was your wife's first name? Final word and frequency? Henry Timmer. It's 11:01, Henry. We got 6 minutes to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can you give us a little bit more of this conversation with you, Henry? Verify it's you? Somebody
No.
else? Okay. Is somebody else here? So, give us your first name.
Not enough?
Is there another writer here whose work is inside this building? It's interrupting Henry. Henry, the image would be fantastic. Without a picture of an old man, I'm not really sure who that is, but you would like to do that. Actually kind of looks like the Santa Claus from the movie we just watched before we came here. Almost identical. Super weird. Henry, is somebody blocking you from talking to us? Henry, can you give us another image? If he wants to leave, you gotta use your code word so we know for sure. We've had plenty of over here where we haven't had any. So we've been getting more as long as we come. Henry, I told you we would be over here by the library around this time. Henry, we're down to about 2.5 minutes. All I wanted was some verification that you were here. Wasn't trying to show any disrespect. Might continue our conversation from where we were in the park. Let's say one night we actually had a phrase come out of this that said, "Where is London?"
Can I go under?
Henry, that is a weird noise in the background. Sounds like one of our fire trucks. They're going postal.
Flow of natural gas.
Wow. Henry, we're going to wrap this up unless you want to talk to London. You want to talk to London? You haven't been here in a while. Henry, we're going to swap things around a little bit. Give you the thumbs up.
$24 auction. No good. Say to me. In case you miss it. She's home. Listen to the side. Quite as long. God. You think? Time for me to. Honestly. Firearms?
Henry going once.